There was even a time in 2024 that WAEC was going to postpone the conduct of the BEC. But, Mr. Speaker, but for the intervention of the Education Committee and Parliament, we were able to avert that disaster. So going forward, Mr. Speaker, I can say on authority that government does not owe WAEC on the payment of BEC registration. So also is that of WASE. So also is for the senior high school examination, which we call WASE. There is a dedicated funding for WASE this time, and GetFund is responsible for it. And as we speak, payment has been made for the 2026 WASE. What again do we need? So we want to assure Ghanaians that after education, everything is on course. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the basic level again, there is expansion in the school feeding program. It is on record that before this government took office, the school feeding program was bedeviled with corruption. I can say on authority again that, Mr. Speaker, in my constituency, a school which had 120 enrollments, records show that it had 270 students being fed under the school feeding program. And that was across the district, and I am sure it was also across the entire country. Mr. Speaker, by eliminating those corrupt practices, more pupils are now enjoying the school feeding program with even quality food, because with the increment in the feeding fee and also making sure that locally produced foods are used in feeding the students, the nutrition level has gone up very much. Mr. Speaker, furniture has been the major problem facing basic schools in this country. You will go to some schools and you will realize that students lie on the floor to write. I can tell you that, Mr. Speaker, government is taking efforts to eliminate this canker in our basic schools. So we need to thank His Excellency the President for making sure that allocation of about 200 million from GetFund is going to be used for the construction or provision of furniture for basic schools. And that this assembly is also going to make sure that 10% of their funds are used to procure furniture for basic schools. And we are going forward. Mr. Speaker, yesterday one member made a comment on the licensure examination from the other side about licensure examination. The promise government made, or the NDC made, was that they were going to make it part of the curriculum for colleges of education. So those who left colleges already would have to take the examination, because they will not go back to college, study under the curriculum, and then write the examination. So until that is done, they must write the examination so that they can get the license to be employed as teachers. So I want to correct that misrepresentation by the other member from the other side that we promised that we will eliminate licensure examination, but we have not done it. This is the truth on the matter.
Second, Deputy Speaker will take the chair.
Mr. Speaker, if you come to allowances for colleges of education students, government has stated that the payment of the allowances should be regulated. What it means is that it's now being paid directly by the Controller and Accountant General Department. So everything, not that students will be paid on the table or money is paid to anybody to be given to students. Now they are on government payroll, and that is what is being done now for students of colleges of education. So as soon as workers receive their salaries, students also receive their allowances as well. They will not have to wait for 3-4 months, and even the allowances will not come. So the system has changed, and students are receiving their allowances through Controller and Accountant General Department. Mr. Speaker, the President also announced that new universities will be created in the newly established regions of the country. So at least 5 universities are going to be established, 3 technical universities and 2 other universities, to make sure that qualified students can gain admission to universities going forward. What is important is that, Mr. Speaker, we all need to support His Excellency the President so that he can achieve his objectives for education in this country. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Let me now turn to Honorable Dr. Ayew Afriyie. Honorable, you are ranking. You have 10 minutes.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I rise to comment on the State of the Nation's address. Mr. Speaker, before I do so, I would want us to put some figures into perspective. It will be in the form of correction, but the Hansa Department, I'm ready to give, after this presentation, the balanced position of the NHIA, and I want it to be captured so there's no politics on social health insurance financing in this country. Mr. Speaker, in the presentation of the President, indeed, I would want to quote Mr. Speaker, the President stated that, and I quote, claims payments are now timed with facilities no longer waiting more than half a year for payments. Mr. Speaker, there has not been delays in payments, and there is no day that was inherited by the new government since 2025. Mr. Speaker, as of 7 January 2025, the NHIA had a positive balance of 1 billion. Mr. Speaker, as of then, they had paid providers up to October. Conventionally, Mr. Speaker, providers would wait up to 3 months before claims are paid. Mr. Speaker, as based upon this convention, as of January 7th, all payments of providers in this country, October, has been done. Now, it was for them to submit November, and that would take processing of December, January, and for them to be paid in February. Mr. Speaker, so I don't know why the President made this statement. And it must be put right that as of January 7, there was no delays in provider payments in this country. Again, the NHIA inherited a positive balance of 1 billion. And that is what they used to pay claims of November, December, January, and February, Mr. Speaker. Payments are roughly about 220 million. So when you calculate payments of 220 million for 4 months, all the payments the NDC did last year for November, December, January, February were monies that they inherited in the positive balance of the NHIA. And I am going to tender in the balanced position of the NHIA as of January 31st, 2025, so that we kill this mischief once and for all. You did not inherit a poor position from the NHIA, and there were no delays in provider payment. Again, Mr. Speaker, another terrible blunder, again, that if it's not corrected, it sends pain to the heart of the many youths who have not been employed, and that of the son and daughter of the cocoa farmer who has not been employed as well. Mr. Speaker, the President again in his statement stated that, and I would want to quote, at the beginning of 2025, 103,000 trained health workers were still awaiting placements, employment, or enrollment on the payroll. Over the past year, 13,500 nurses and midwives along with hundreds of doctors and pharmacists, were absorbed. Mr. Speaker, these 13,500 recruits were inherited by a clearance that was issued by the MPP government. It was not even 13,500. Mr. Speaker, it was 15,400. Again, I will tender the document for the purpose of this House and for the Handler Department to capture. You inherited a clearance of 15,400 and you decide to put them on the payroll. However, Ghanaians listening to me, I would want you to know that the taxpayer, and of course that of the cocoa farmer, your child was not employed in 2025. Neither did they make any allocation in the budget to employ nurses and allied health workers for 2026, and that is shameful. Mr. Speaker, all the nurses and the pharmacists and the allied workers and medical laboratory technicians who are at home, hear me out. This government did not make a budget for you in 2025. Neither have they made a budget for you in 2026. Mr. Speaker, just as the cocoa farmer is struggling, and cocoa farmer for Omaya Mabo, Mr. Speaker, Omaya Mabo. Yeah, Mr. So, me a cocoa farmer, Maya Mabo, to wait. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, please.
To wait.
The heckle
I am
is too much.
sensitive on the issues of cocoa farmers.
Honorable members.
The name AU is a Mampo Equiapim name, which was that of cocoa farming. Before the onset of Cocoa Board, Opeyeyu was the one who was the chairman of the Cocoa Farmers Union of Ghana, who always sent cocoa to England to pay and came to pay. So I am a bona fide, a loyalist, and a protege or a descendant of a great cocoa farmer, Opeyeyu of Mampo Equiapim. Mr. Speaker, I'm not happy the way they are treating cocoa farmers. And the cocoa farmers' children are either not being employed. Many of them are nurses. Mr. Speaker, as I speak, last year, the nurses who were not employed, the new ones, were 20,000. Mr. Speaker, those of 2025 will complete their licensure in June, and there will be another 20,000. Mr. Speaker, normally, all these new ones are about 20,000. So the more the NDC refused to bring a supplementary budget that would inherit and clear all these people, this backlog, there will be every year 20 more thousand of nursing people being produced. Mr. Speaker, where are we going as a country? Where are we going as a country? We are putting pains in the heart of the Ghanaian nurses. Mr. Speaker, I have not even spoken about pharmacists. There are over 20,000 pharmacists, and they churn almost about 8,000 each year. There was no clearance for them. But before last year, each year, they were all being employed. But it was a backlog. Mr. Speaker, it was a backlog. Mr. Speaker, as of last year, as of 2024, the NPP government employed those of 2020. Mr. Speaker, 2020. So as of 2025, they should have employed the 2021. And that will not be only nurses, pharmacists, medical laboratory, physiotherapists, and all of them. Mr. Speaker, there's no future, there's no hope for this youth. Each and every one of you listening to me, your family, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, all of them, since last year, there is no, it's using the MPP's clearance of 2024.
Certification?
Although they were putting them on that payroll because the money was sitting there, they give the impression that they were being recruited. There was no recruitment in 2025, and there is no recruitment in 2026. Mr. Speaker, the supplementary budget of this government should include that of nurses and allied health workers. For once, listen and hear them out. Mr. Speaker, today, Joseph Opata, who is the president of the nurses who failed, there are about 6,000 of them who failed in 2020, and they were to be employed. Mr. Speaker, today, he's selling Aboboya and repairing it. My fear is this. Many of these skilled workers, when they stay home for long, they lose their skills. And that is the problem. So are you going to be quiet so we churn 20,000 of nurses every year, and they sit home engaging themselves as of, so here, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the statement, it says we inherited, it's not true, we inherited 103,000. Mr. Speaker, they did inherited only about 60,000. So therefore, Mr. Speaker, source is clear. Mr. Speaker, 60,000. They inherited 60,000, and this were this. 20,000 of 2021, 20,000 of 2022, 20,000 of 2023. Today, they have added 20,000 of 2024, 20,000 of 2025. And you sit there. In June, you are going to add another 20,000, which means that in 2 years,
Thank you, Dr. Ayu. Thank you, Dr. Ayu. You've been bailed out. So let me now turn to Honorable James Agaga.
Thank you, Mr.
James,
Speaker.
you are the chairman of a committee, and therefore you have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Dr. Ishmael Norman, a renowned security analyst and a disaster management expert, when called upon to assess the performance of President Mahama vis-à-vis the performance of President Akufo-Addo in his last 2 years in government, scored as follows. President Mahama, 7.5 over 10. President Akufo-Addo, 1.2 over 10. Mr. Speaker, Dr. Ishmael Norman, in arriving at his conclusion,
See, immediately you came out with that figures, Reverend just popping.
So, Mr. Speaker, 7.5 over 10 versus 1.2 over 10. Those were the scores of Dr. Ishmael Norman. Now, who is Dr. Ishmael Norman? He's neither MPP nor NDC. In fact, if Reverend Intim Fojo had been asked to score President Akufo-Addo, one would say he's MPP and therefore would be biased. Mr. Speaker, in similar light, if you were to ask Agalga to score President Mahama and I scored him, you'd say because I am NDC, I am being biased. But Dr. Ishmael Norman is a professional par excellence, well respected. Those were the scores. So I proceed on the premises of Dr. Ishmael Norman's scores. Mr. Speaker, President Mahama in his message on the state of the nation indicated that 3 brand new airports are going to be built. One would be built in Sunyani to serve the former Bono and Ahafo regions. In fact, the current airport is no longer fit for purpose. We can't expand or extend the runway. And so President Mahama has decided that we'll give those 2 regions a brand new airport. Similarly, the people of Upper West also deserve a brand new airport because the airport there now is not fit for purpose. When aircraft take off, Mr. Speaker, they violate Burkina Faso's airspace. So President Mahama says, let us give them a brand new airport. Mr. Speaker, my own region, when I am traveling to my constituency and land in Tamale, I have to drive for 4 hours before I get to Sandema, the capital of my constituency. President Mahama says enough of the suffering. We have endured a lot. So the Upper East for the first time would also be given a brand new airport. Now, Mr. Speaker, let me talk about security, which is my field. And Mr. Speaker, Dr. Norman made a quick scan of the security landscape in arriving at the scores that I alluded to in my earlier presentation. Now, the president spoke about CI 129. And yesterday, I heard my brother, the defense minister. He knows I will respond to him. That is why he's not here today, Mr. Speaker. He made a desperate attempt to defend his record. But, Mr. Speaker, that record is simply not defensible. We were in this house when CI 129 was passed. And what is the purpose of CI 129? Mr. Speaker, it was meant to prolong the service of the other ranks from 25 years to 30 years. I recall at the time of the passage of CI 129, I spoke out extensively against it and said, look, the rationale behind the promulgation of that CI was not well thought through. Why did I say that? You are talking about a CI which envisages the enhancement of the pay, the gratuities of other ranks to the exclusion of special duty commissioned officers and officers of the armed forces. Do you now see how discriminatory that CI was? And that is why from that time onwards, 2020, we've had issues with its implementation because it is discriminatory. In fact, Article 17 of our Constitution is very clear. That is why the military high command had issues with the implementation of that particular CI, which is why President Mahama, the commander-in-chief of our armed forces, made it clear that the discriminatory character of that CI must be addressed. The issues outstanding have now been resolved, and so all the personnel of the armed forces, special duty commissioned officers, and other ranks would all be compensated in an equitable manner. And so if Dominic Nitue were here, I would have pointed it out to him that when I warned him that they were rushing in passing the CI because of the 2020 elections, I would have told him that the chicken has now come home to roost. But Mr. Speaker, he's fled, so I would reserve further comments on that particular subject. But Mr. Speaker, let me address issues raised by my brother and ranking member, Reverend Ntim Fodjo. Reverend Ntim Fodjo says there is insecurity in our country because 8 of our compatriots were killed in Burkina Faso. Mr. Speaker, let me address my brother directly. Burkina Faso is a country with territories well defined in international law. Ghana's security apparatus cannot cross over boundaries, borders, and provide for the security of our nationals in that country. Mr. Speaker, we are not the United States of America. We are not. And so when Ghanaians, and let me extend my condolence to our compatriots, the 8 of them who lost their lives. But when Ghanaians cross borders into foreign jurisdictions, their safety and security becomes the sole responsibility of the security apparatus of that country. And so, Mr. Speaker, the point I'm making is that our security apparatus did not do anything wrong. In fact, when our compatriots died and some wounded, our security apparatus, with the cooperation of the Burkinabés, actually rescued. They did medical evacuation, and we should be commending our Air Force. The Kasa flew to Ouagadougou and brought back the wounded, some of whom are now receiving treatment at the 37 Military Hospital. So, Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect to my brother, the ranking member, Ntim Fodjo, our security apparatus is up to the task. We have worked to ensure that no single incident of terrorism has taken place or will take place in our country. Those are the words I have for him. With respect to the terror attacks in our waters, Mr. Speaker, pirates are pirates. They would attack. But the problem is, after the attack, we are looking at the response, the reaction. Did we react or not? We did. In fact, there was a hot pursuit for those pirates. They were chased and they fled. Our Navy acted in coordination with our Air Force. Our fighter jets were in the sky. Our ships were lives. Mr. Speaker, thereafter, we were able to rescue all the affected fishermen. 71, not a single soul was lost. We should be full of commendation for our security forces, the Air Force and the Navy, which is why our president has indicated in the message on the state of the nation that we would continue to equip and to read through the security services. The other day, Reverend Ntimfo indicated that when they brought an agreement before this House for the acquisition of 2 offshore patrol vessels, we opposed it. Mr. Speaker, the Hansard would bear me out. We never opposed the acquisition of the 2 offshore patrol vessels. In fact, the minister who led the agreement before this House was the same minister who would do it. The same minister would do it because he himself was concerned that we needed to do due diligence. And so he didn't want to be fingered. We're close to the election. He didn't want to be fingered after the election, as if he knew his party was going to lose. And actually they lost. They deserved the defeat that they themselves recorded. And so, Mr. Speaker, we would bring back that same agreement, and when we bring it back, it would go down in our records that it is this government, President Mohammed's government, which acquired the 2 offshore patrol vessels for our Navy. 5 additional aircraft are about to be purchased. 5! This is unprecedented. It is unprecedented. 5 aircraft at the same time. So, Mr. Speaker, the president deserves the scores Dr. Ishmael Norman gave him. I could say more, but I'm told my time is up. Let me conclude. Never oppose the acquisition of, in fact, the minister who led the agreement.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend James. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. Honorable members, from James Agaga, the security expert, I would now move to another security expert. Honorable Kofi Amankwa-Menu. Unfortunately, you will have 5 minutes, not 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr.
They said
Speaker.
deputies are 5 minutes. Yes, but I'll add 1 minute to him, so please time him 6 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to comment on the State of the Nation address as presented by His Excellency the President. Mr. Speaker, let me begin by congratulating the President for being honest enough to admit to the fact that the fight against Galamsey has become complex. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency the President sometimes speaks as if he's never occupied the office he's occupying today. During his tenure as president for the first time, Galamsey was well alive. What did he do? To the extent that the issue of Galamsey was used as a political campaign tool. We were told that within 3 months, a new NDC government will bring to an end the issue of Galamsey. What do we see today? It is obvious from what is happening that His Excellency the President has thrown his hands into disrepair. Am I right? Into despair. Precisely. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, today our forests are being destroyed. Our water bodies are being destroyed. What is that telling you? What is happening, Mr. Speaker, is that the zeal to fight Galamsey is simply gone. We've lost it. We have lost it. The Benin incident are deep in the Galamsey issue. Nobody is bringing them to book. Fellow colleagues, let our president know that Ghana is at the brink of perishing, and as a leader, he must care. It is very worrisome. Mr. Speaker, it is very laughable when my colleague and friend, the Honorable Agaga, seek to tell this House that one Dr. Norman has scored 7.5 for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and 1.5 for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That alone should tell you where Dr. Norman stands politically. It cannot be said that they said Dr. Norman is neutral. He cannot be neutral. He is not neutral. He is indeed an NDC activist. And our colleague must know. Mr. Speaker, is it not worrisome that for the first time in our history, we can have pirates coming as close as within 30 nautical miles of our waters, approximately 45 kilometers, having a field day to the extent of abducting our compatriots? Is that not worrisome? It is very worrisome. And Mr. Speaker, sometimes I ask, where did we get here? And how did we get here? My colleague alluded to the fact that when a contract was brought to this House, it had to be withdrawn. Mr. Speaker, when the contract was brought to this House, I sat right there. And in fact, at the mere mention of that contract, our colleagues rejected with an emphatic no that we will not buy those equipment. Those are the OPVs. These OPVs have long endurance, stay on sea, and they have firepower. It is wrong and erroneous for my friend to say that pirates are pirates, and so they can strike at any time. Yes, pirates are pirates. They can strike at any time. But it is a responsibility of our leadership to prepare against any eventuality or attack from any pirate. We sat, Mr. Speaker, to the extent that 50 of our fisher folk here is that this is going to have a negative impact on our fishing communities. Now, fisher folks, when they have to go to sea, we always have to be looking over their shoulders. Why would they have to do that? Because they don't know, as my colleague said, pirates are pirates, and so they can strike at any time. They are not safe, and so they will be looking over their shoulders for the next pirate to strike. We cannot do that. Mr. Speaker, we have 8 Ghanaians perishing in Burkina Faso, and my colleague is saying that we do not have control over what happens to Ghanaians in a foreign land. Yes, their security will be in the hands of the security agencies of wherever they will be. But Mr. Speaker, this is the first time, the very first time, that Ghanaians transacting business in Burkina have been killed. This is the first time. And I believe that calls for a very proper investigation into why the very first time Ghanaians have been killed. Hitherto, Mr. Speaker, when vehicles bearing Ghanaians' numbers were seen in Burkina, they were treated differently. Why are Ghanaians being treated differently now? Is the question we need to ask ourselves. Mr. Speaker, the issue of corruption is very worrisome. That today, His Excellency is telling us that it's going to strengthen the fight against corruption in Burkina Faso. How can we fight against corruption when we hide behind non-prosecutor?
Thank you.
How can we do that?
Thank you. Thank you, Kofi. Thank you, Kofi. So let me now turn to Honorable Mohammed S. Abdul Khalid.
Mr. Speaker, he's not here. Let's move on.
So if he's not ready,
He's not ready. He has run away. He's not ready.
if he's not ready, Honorable, he wants to take the slot.
No. Speaker, so we'll give to Ms. Val. Ms. Val is next. So we alternate the position in the ranking.
Who?
Honorable Ms. Val.
Yes.
Yes.
Is he here?
Yes, he's here.
Which number?
That's number 4. Ms. Val.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So, Honorable, you have 5 minutes. You see, what's the whip saying? My brother, let me hear you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to add my voice to the multitude of honorable members who have already expressed their opinions on the State of the Nation address ably delivered by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Mr. Speaker, I also want to take this opportunity to commend highly His Excellency the President for such. Mr. Speaker, I also want to take this opportunity to commend highly His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for such an impressive and fact-based address. Indeed, the statement was reassuring, it was inspiring, and again, it gave hope to the ordinary citizen. Mr. Speaker, I want to quote an old saying that says, "An old woman is always uneasy when dry bones are mentioned in a proverb." This reflects the current state of the minority. Indeed, they are very uncomfortable and dangerously afraid at the precision with which the NDC government is managing the economy. For instance, Mr. Speaker, when we take the primary balance of the economy, the primary balance, something that measures, the primary balance, it measures, Mr. Speaker, the primary balance, it measures how prudent a government is able to manage an interest expenditure as against total revenue in a particular period. And I must commend the government who were able to achieve a 2.6% as against a target of 1.5% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, the MPP were able to only manage a 3.6 deficit negative when they were in government. This showed how recklessly our economy was managed. They were only able to borrow at the least provocation to fund recurrent expenditure, carry out the private sector in the process. Mr. Speaker, the overall benefit of all this is that the NDC government was able to reduce the public debt to 45% of GDP as against what was handed over to us at 61.8%. This boosted Ghana's creditworthiness and increased investor confidence of our economy. Mr. Speaker, reputable rating agencies such as Fitch, Moody's, and Standard & Poor's all could not help but applaud the government and upgraded our ratings. Mr. Speaker, what did we see Yanum did? They left our economy in a junk status, an economy placed under an ICU. Mr. Speaker, the average Ghanaian, I can now say, walking in the street, has money in his pocket. Why do I say so, Mr. Speaker? The NDC government, for the 1 year that we have been in power, was able to reduce inflation to 3.8% as at close of January 2026 against a 23.8% that was handed to us in December 2024. Mr. Speaker, signaling predictability and stability in prices, allowing the average Ghanaian to be able to plan his affairs at ease or with ease. Mr. Speaker, this is no mean achievement. Indeed, this is the 13th consecutive month that we have seen a decline. It is indeed unprecedented. Excellent. Mr. Speaker, we're in this country when the previous government brought in a wild animal known as PFG, that's Planting for Food and Jobs. What did we see, Mr. Speaker? After sinking in a total of 6 billion into that project, what did we see? Again, the same government spent a colossal $342 million importing only rice into the country in 2023 alone. What did we see? This further aggravated the situation of the economy, and we ended up at that time, the MPP government, with an inflation of 54.1%. Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Speaker, it is not surprising that the MPP government or the MPP minority, they've now shifted the goalposts to say that we are not going to chop inflation. But need I remind them that when inflation is managed well, there's price stability, and the average Ghanaian out there is now able to buy fuel at 10 cedi per litre instead of the 15.2 they handed down to us before leaving power.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, this is clearly huge savings that the ordinary Ghanaians is enjoying out there. Wild animal, known as PFG, that's Planning for Food and Jobs. What did we see, Mr. Speaker? After sinking...
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me now turn to Honorable John Darko. Honorable John Darko. Honorable, you have 5 minutes.
Your fingers just can't get it. We've all been typing, deleting, retyping.
Thank you very much.
Now,
Honorable John Darko, you have 5 minutes.
Out loud, and it creates perfect format.
Thank you very much, Speaker,
Whisperflow understood
for the opportunity given to me to comment on the President's statement to the House.
12 p.m. at Jay's
Mr. Speaker, the President last Friday was supposed to deliver the state of the nation.
3, 4.
Mr. Speaker, I sat here for close to about 2 hours. I listened to His Excellency the President, but Mr. Speaker, I didn't get a sense that the President was talking about the state of our nation. I did not get the impression that what the President was talking about was the state of our nation. And so in this short period, Mr. Speaker, I'll remind Mr. President what the state of our nation is. Mr. Speaker, one of the issues that is bothering our nation is the issue of Galamsey. Galamsey is illegal mining activity which is ravaging our forests and water bodies. Mr. Speaker, the President had a very good opportunity to tell the people of Ghana the state of the fight against Galamsey and how his administration was going to stop it. But having listened to the President, I realized that the President failed in this regard. One of the issues that is coming up in the Galamsey problem is the issue of cyanidation of Galamsey. That is an issue that the President was supposed to tackle. Now the illegal mining operators use cyanide in order to be able to get more gold from the oil. This cyanidation of Galamsey, Mr. Speaker, is the single most dangerous thing happening to our environment. But Mr. President didn't address us on that. Mr. Speaker, on page 13 of the President's State of the Nation address, this is what he told the people of Ghana. He said, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, by formalizing gold exports, we have increased recorded exports in the artisanal and small-scale mining sector from 63.6 to 103 tons and channeled foreign exchange into our economy. Mr. Speaker, this is a president who is prioritizing illegal mining over the health and the future of the citizens of this country. This is an administration that believes that getting gold from illegal mining, exporting gold from illegal mining is better than protecting our forests, is better than protecting our forest reserve. Mr. Speaker, no wonder the assemblies where the president has put his representatives are collecting taxes from Galamsey operators. Mr. Speaker, this assertion is corroborated by Joy FM's report. There's a Joy FM report which shows that the DCEs, the MCEs that the president has appointed are collecting taxes, and it's called taxes from illegal mining operators. This is the state of our nation, Mr. Speaker. This is a president who is encouraging illegality. This is the state of our nation. Mr. Speaker, the president had the opportunity to tell us how he's going to fight this galamsey by ensuring that our borders are not as porous as they are. Mr. Speaker, in this country, those who are engaging in illegal mining are not only Ghanaians.
Honorable, hold on. Yes, Honorable Majority Chief Whip. I thought we will not be interjecting.
Protozoa. Speaker, my brother, my roommate, my friend John Daku, he knows that.
Is your roommate?
Yes. We were roommates in law school. So we are brothers, we are not friends. And he knows that the content of a member's contribution shouldn't attract controversy. It shouldn't. To say, and shouldn't generate debate, to say that the president is encouraging galamsey is untenable. You can make your point, but don't be that exactitude. Don't be that exactitude, because if I put you to street proof, you will not be able to. And he knows. He's my brother. So, Ajon, you know how we do it.
Are you looking for a good way to meet your new neighbor?
Safe land. In any case, your time is up. Conclude.
He's just calling you not to be exactitude.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. So, Mr. Speaker, the president is supposed to ensure that our borders are protected. Our borders, Mr. Speaker, has become so porous that the illegal mining operators in our country mostly are not Ghanaians. They are either from Burkina Faso, or Ivory Coast, or Togo. This is the state of our nation, where foreigners are ravaging our forests, where foreigners are destroying our water bodies. This is the state of the nation the president was supposed to tell us. Mr. Speaker, the hard-working Ghanaians, when at the end of the month he's going to the bank, he's expecting some good sums of money. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable John Daku, I give you 1 minute in addition. Honorable John Daku, I give you 1 minute. Just follow. Nowadays, it's automatic. Your time, once it gets up, it's. So I give you 1 minute, please.
I'm saying that in this country, the Mr. Speaker, the state of our nation is that the minimum wage, okay, is 21.77 cedis a day. It's the lowest in the sub-region. That is the state of our nation. Mr. Speaker, the state of our nation is that our cocoa farmers are now selling their lands to illegal mining operators so that they can make money because the president is not paying them. That is the state of our nation. Mr. Speaker, unemployment has become the bane of the Ghanaian youth. People are looking for jobs, they are not getting it. That is the state of the nation. The president promised 133. He said that when it comes into government, he's going to ensure that every Ghanaian was going to get a job. And that one job will be done, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening. The people.
Thank you very much, Honorable John Daku. Honorable members, before I call the next debater, indulge me to introduce our guests at the public gallery. Well, the first school is Lizales School Complex. Lizales School Complex. Where are they? They are being led by Georgina Asante, who is a teacher, and the school is located in the Shai Osudoku constituency. They are 65 in number. The second school is Savior of All Schools. Savior of All Schools. And they are being led by Linda Kwashi, who is the head teacher. And the school is located at Wassa East constituency. Wassa East. Who is the MP? Wassa East constituency. They are 26 in number. And the last but not the least is National Hairdressers Association. National Hairdressers Association. They are being led by Diana Ubiba and Stephanie Amoa. They are president, and the school or the association is located in the Kuyapem South constituency. Kuyapem South constituency. Yes. That's the honorable member. Very well. So you are all welcome. And we wish you a pleasant stay in Parliament. Thank you. So we will turn to Honorable Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan. Honorable Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan. Then we will turn to Honorable Richie Jan. Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't see you. Oh, my brother from Yendi. Come again. Yes, I did. In fact, I didn't watch there. I'm sorry. My brother from Yendi. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, let my whip announce his presence.
My friend he made a point that the honorable member is actually on their side. It's a needless point to make. The Speaker knows that he's on your side. We acknowledge you've increased your numbers. But Speaker, I want him to know that it's just a question of time. Especially now that cocoa farmers are getting very disappointed in them. It's just a question of time. Speaker, it's just a question of time. It's just a question of time.
Speaker, I agree with my brother that he just returned from several cocoa farms within the Eastern Enclave. But why Mobodudu? Why Mobodudu? So he's welcome.
Yes. My brother from Yendi.
Thank you so much,
My brother,
Mr.
let me
Speaker.
hear you. You have 5 minutes.
Thanks so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the message on the State of the Nation address delivered by His Excellency the President last Friday. Mr. Speaker, to start with, I wish to state that if you look at what has been said of late, you hear our colleagues on the other side saying that, yes, the figures are looking good, all the indicators are looking positive, but there's no money in our pockets. Mr. Speaker, for the first time in my constituency, we have the local assembly, that is the municipal assembly, being able to award several contracts to local people in the constituency. Mr. Speaker, 2025 alone, 2 chiefs compounds were awarded, 2 6-unit classroom blocks were awarded, then kindergarten blocks were awarded, and some ongoing projects were even completed. Mr. Speaker, these projects were all awarded to the locals. And if you tell me that these locals will not have money in their pockets, then I don't know what other means can be used to put money in the pockets of Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, right from the onset of this administration, His Excellency announced that 80% of the allocation to district assemblies must really get to the district assemblies. And we can confirm that indeed the district assemblies are getting what is due them. And in fact, these allocations are being channeled to the local people because the contracts are awarded to these local people. Mr. Speaker, I wish to say that today, like the President rightly mentioned, passport production and processing has been fast-tracked. Today, within 15 days of application for passport, you will get it delivered to you. And the good thing about it is that, Mr. Speaker, wherever you are, it can be brought to you. You don't need to actually visit the office to pick your passport. Mr. Speaker, the President also mentioned that we have been able to secure 11 visa waivers for Ghanaians. And so, for 2025 alone, Ghanaians are able to travel to 11 additional countries without the need for visas. Mr. Speaker, if we cannot appreciate this, then what else can we appreciate? Mr. Speaker, on the side of education, the President on Friday did indicate that there has been serious imbalance in our educational sector, that because of the onset of free SHS, which is a very good policy and which policy we are bettering as we speak, there has been total neglect of the basic education level. And the basic education level provides the entry point for, Mr. Speaker, foundational literacy, numeracy, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills for our children. And so if we neglect this side and we concentrate so heavily on the second cycle sector, Mr. Speaker, chances are by the time the children get to the second cycle education, they would have been so badly handled that even the free SHS cannot cure the damage. Which is why I applaud the President when he stated that he's coming to rebalance the structure and that he's implementing what I will call Agenda 200-200-200, which is to say, Mr. Speaker, that in 2026, we are constructing 200 kindergarten blocks, 200 primary school blocks, and 200 junior high school blocks. This, we believe, will balance the distortion that we have seen over the years the implementation of the free SHS. Mr. Speaker, we have also been told, but if you have met the private universities, one of the biggest problems they have had is to do with charter. The President is committed to abolishing the charter system through a new legislation that will soon be brought to Parliament. Mr. Speaker, the last thing I will say is about the decision by the government to move 30 Category C schools to Category B and 10 Category B schools to Category A, and then upgrading of Category A schools to meet higher standards. Mr. Speaker, we believe that if all this is done, our educational sector will never be the same. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Fatau. Let me now turn to Honorable Nanaji. Honorable, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the motion to thank the President for his message on the state of the nation. Mr. Speaker, state of the nation is actually, most often than not, the health of the nation, where he has taken the country from and where he is taking the country to. Mr. Speaker, in the State of the Nation address, you could see that there are similarities between the 2025 State of the Nation address